of the Bears Sports Network.
And we are the Bears All Access Show for the Bears Sports Network. Now, Will, so far we got the Bears team coming in. We have the UMass Dartmouth team coming in. UMass Dartmouth 4-0 and 4-0 overall and 2-0, excuse me, in the conference. Yep. And the Bears are 3-1 overall and 2-0 or 2-0 or 3-0 in the conference.
Yeah, there you go.
So both teams seem small, but before we get to that, we're going to cover a little bit of the sports around the Bears campus. And coming up, and we'll start with wrestling and swimming and diving. And wrestling, swimming, and diving have gone to a couple invitational tournaments, but nothing too big. What's really going on is they have a lot of invitational tournaments, and they're getting a lot of the young players in. They're getting a lot of experience for the freshmen and sophomores and the players who haven't played over the years, and freshmen who are just coming in. But also around, we have the women's basketball team in full swing, as they are 3-1 as well. They started off with an opening loss to Ithaca in the Macchi tournament at SUNY Oswego in New York State. But the second game, Corey Cuddy showing why she's a leader on this Bears team. She exploded for 32 points and a win against SUNY Cottleskill at the Macchi tournament, and the Bears were able to take the consolation game in that tournament and able to save or something. But also, they just came off a huge win against Rick.
That's absolutely right, Chuck. Corey Cutter, he proved once again why she's a leader on this team, as last night the Bridgewater State Women Bears beat the UMass Dartmouth Lady Corsairs 55-52 at UMass Dartmouth. And speaking of Corey Cutter, she led the way again with 18 points, knocking down 3 huge three-pointers. And we've talked to some of the players before today, and they all said they kind of struggled in the first half, in that Corey Cutter, being a leader, she really picked them up and carried them through that game. And along with her, Stephanie Hootman, 8 rebounds coming out of the guard spot. And when you can get that type of production out of your guard spot, especially for the Lady Bears, who are a very undersized team, as proof of their center, Michaela Johnson, who will be joining us here at halftime to go more in-depth on the Lady Bears in their season. When her and players like Stephanie Hootman can get 8 rebounds and go 4 for 5 from the field, it's huge. And for the Lady Bears to have success this season, that is going to have to continue.
Yeah, the Lady Bears definitely undersized, and we saw at the beginning of the season during tryouts that not a whole lot of people came out. They had 13 girls come out, or women, excuse me, 13 women come out.
Good correction, Chuck.
And they took 12 of those women onto the team. So it kind of shows you that.
And they're all 12 women who want to be there, they want to play, and they want to win, and that's what you need in a team.
Right, and that's what we got from Bridget Casey early in the season. We asked her about the low numbers, and she said, well, I mean, it's better to have 13 girls who come out who really want to be there, who want to be on this team, who want to play hard, and are a cohesive unit, instead of having 15 women come out and 20 of them don't want to be there. Exactly. One of the keys to this Bears team is Roland Millien, the team captain, the team leader, the Moose, as newbie.
As coined by our one and only Newbie Reto.
And he also has something about Roland Millien.
Well, you see, interesting story about Roland Millien, he almost wasn't even a part of this team. Right. After a crucial injury, it took a motivating force to get Roland to come out. Take a look.
The men's basketball team is led by senior captain Roland Millien. His journey to Bridgewater is an interesting one that started at Stoughton High.
My career in Stoughton, it was a good one. We went all the way to my senior year. My senior year, we went to the South Sectional Finals. We had a good squad. We had a solid nucleus, and my coach, he trusted us to play the way we wanted to play. He let us go free, and we ended up playing good and made it as far as to the South Sectional Finals, and we ended up losing to the eventual state champion, Walpole.
After high school, he attended prep school, and while there, he had to overcome some obstacles.
I went to Bridgeton Academy, which is in North Bridgeton, Maine, and it was a tough transition for me, because I was away from my parents. It was to prepare me for college, and I was real far away from my parents and everything like that. And I had practices. I had some scouts checking me out to play at a different level, but I hurt myself during basketball practice, and actually it was ironic, because I was playing and I was joking around with one of my friends, and then I went up to dunk the ball, and I tore ligaments in my leg and in my ACL and everything like that.
You know, after Roland's injury, he decided maybe basketball is not in my future. But somebody said, you know what, Roland? You should play basketball right here at Bridgewater State College.
I decided that I wasn't going to play basketball in college, and I thought I was just going to come to Bridgewater and just stay here and just do classes and not play. And then one of my friends, who actually was a player here, Tommy Cudahy, he's a 1,000-point scorer, he called me up and asked me what I was doing. I told him I wasn't going to play basketball, and he convinced me to give it a look. I came here, and Coach Donovan and Coach Faroba, they welcomed me with like open arms, and I am here where I am today.
When looking back, Roland has no regrets and is optimistic about the future.
It most certainly is worth it because, I mean, right when I came here the first year, we got ourselves a MASCAC championship and we got ourselves a fat ring that I don't have right now, but it looks real pretty, and I flaunt it around anytime I go out to stores and other places like that, but it is definitely worth it. I've made a lot of friendships that I'll never forget, and there's some people that I have that will end up being lifelong friends that I have here, and I mean, Coach treats me like he's a father to me. He's like a second father. So, I mean, I don't regret it at all. This is something that I'll look back on and smile at, and hopefully when it's all said and done, we'll get ourselves another little championship, and I'll smile even more.
You know, the old saying goes, everything happens for a reason. And I'm pretty sure Roland Millien is satisfied with his decision to play basketball right here at Bridgewater State College. For Bear Sports Network, I'm Newbie Ratto.
And speaking of Roland Millien, we just saw Roland Millien pumping up his troops, getting ready for the game.
He's ready for this game, Chuck. He wants it. UMass Dartmouth comes in here highly ranked, and Roland wants a victory.
Yeah, Roland Millien definitely pumped up for this game. And we're going to kick it down to our play-by-play team, Pat Riley and Newbie Ratto. Pat?
A top 20 team coming into the Adrian Tinsley Center tonight. What makes UMass Dartmouth so tough?
You know, they're a fantastic team. You know what? They play almost like Bridgewater, but they have two fantastic wing players, and Matt Walker, Brandon Stevens, they have a fantastic bench player. But first, let's talk about Matt Walker. Sure. Fantastic player on the perimeter, but what's special about him is he can put the ball on the floor too. So you got to give him space on the perimeter because you know what? He can shoot the three, but you have to respect him going towards the basket. This guy, Brandon Stevens, I've seen him play in New North High School. He won 2 Division I state titles in high school. This guy knows how to win. He's another wing player, likes to put the ball on the floor, so it's going to be a run and gun type game. It's going to be tough for Bridgewater to do, but these tests are good for them in the early on because it gets them ready towards the end of the season, towards playoff time.
UMass Dartmouth out of the Little East Conference will look at 3 keys tonight: turnovers, rebounding, and the super sub, Brandon Shelton. He's their 6th man off the bench for the Corsairs, the leading scorer for UMass Dartmouth. Talked about turnovers. UMass Dartmouth, one of the better defensive teams in the Little East. They average over 13 steals a game, guys. And Newbie, they're just going to have to take care of the basketball. Bridgewater State is tonight because UMass Dartmouth has a +10 turnover margin already this year.
Exactly. Turnovers is always a big key. I mean, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot with turnover. I mean, especially with the point guard, Reece Freeman. He was all defensive in the Little East Conference last year. So it's going to be a tough matchup for the point guard, McLaughlin. But I think, honestly, right now we have to look at what Bridgewater needs to do on this side. They need to box out because this is not a big team. So they have no excuse not to get the rebound. You know, so I know we're all saying, you know, they have a tall opponent, that's why they're not getting rebounds. There's no excuse today. They need to box out, get rebounds, and limit the turnovers. If they do that, I like Bridgewater's chances today.
You touched right on it. The rebounding margin could be an advantage for Bridgewater tonight. The Corsairs get out-rebounded by about 10 per game. Some extra possessions there for the Bears if they go out and get them. Guys, we're looking forward to a great game. It's coming right up around the corner, and we'll be with you for the tip in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Pat. And Newbie and Pat are definitely right. I mean, you have 2 small teams here. I mean, the tallest players on each of their team are
generously listed at 6'6".
That's exactly.
Very generously
listed at 6'6". So we have 2 small teams here who are looking to run the court. And, we've seen Bridgewater in these 2 games, and it seems like that pressure defense that they come out really lets them come out in both the first half and starting the second half and let them take control early. And the only time that they've lost is really when they've faltered at the end of a half.
That's true. And what's going to be very interesting about this game is both teams play the same style, so it's who's going to play it better, who's going to play it more aggressive. It's really going to be an interesting chess match to see how each one wants to counteract pretty much a mirror image of themselves. And not only that, but each team brings into this game what I guess you could call a big 3. For UMass Dartmouth, they come in with Brandon Shelton, Matt Walker, and although Newbie and Pat didn't mention him, do not sleep on Jeff Macchi. All three are juniors, and all three have been together for a while. But as I said, Brandon Shelton, the sixth man off the bench, lead the team in scoring. A Ben Gordon type, if you will, in reference to the NBA Chicago Bulls, comes out and is a tremendous spark plug off the bench.
Yeah, and you mentioned Bridgewater having their own big three. That would be Roland Millien, Nicholas Motta, and Judah Jackson. But also don't sleep on the point guards, Matt McLaughlin and Anthony Goss. Anthony Goss comes off the bench now this year after starting last year, but he is that big spark, and it seems like he has the confidence now that we've all known that he has the speed to burn anyone and the quickness to break anyone's ankles.
Not too many people can keep up with him in this league. His quickness is amazing.
And it seems like Coach Donovan and Coach Faroba have instilled the confidence in him to really take the ball and burn people and go to the hole now, and we see that with him now averaging, now he averages 6.3 points per game, excuse me. Yeah. So, you know, that's drastically more than he's had in his first 2 years here.
Also a big factor in this game could be Corey Connor coming off the bench for the Bridgewater State Bears, as he's shooting 44% from the three-point line. Being only a freshman, that's a huge advantage you can have.
Oh, definitely a huge advantage, someone coming off the bench and shooting a three-pointer. And we will go down for the starting lineups and the national anthem with our PA announcer, Tony Lee. I'm Chuck Scott. This is Will Weir. This is Bears All Access. We're taking it down to courtside for the starting lineups and the national anthem. Thank you very much.
See you at halftime.
The Adrian Tinsley Center is the host tonight for UMass Dartmouth and Bridgewater State. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the campus of Bridgewater State College. Alongside Nubia Ratto, I'm Pat Riley. We're so glad to have you for a non-conference Bridgewater State men's game tonight, the final men's home game before the mid-semester break, and it's the Bears and Corsairs. Tonight, Newbie, we've got a team that's 20th ranked in all of Division III basketball coming into the Tinsley Center tonight in UMass Dartmouth. We talked a little bit in the pregame about some of the top performers that the Corsairs have. What are some of the other things that make UMass Dartmouth so effective?
You know what? I've always said this. They're a fantastic running basketball team. They're fantastic at what Bridgewater likes to do. I mean, you always say Bridgewater Bears, they're a running team. You know, UMass Dartmouth, they love to do that too. So it's going to be interesting to see, can they match an athletic team? It's going to start and end with the outlet pass. It's going to start and end with the center. Can he get the outlet pass, David Riley, and start this fast break? Because, you know, everyone is going to see the flash of the dunks, you know, at the end of the fast break. Can he get the rebound? Can he get the rebound, outlet pass to the point guard, and start the fast break? That's going to be interesting to see if Dartmouth can do that today.
Well, it should be a great game tonight. We're going to take a quick moment. We'll have the starting lineups for you and the tip on the other side of our national anthem right here at the Adrian Tinsley Center on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning. Why?
Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Well, the crowd has filed in and we're ready to go for basketball here at the Adrian Tinsley Center. It's the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs against the Bridgewater State Bears in a non-conference game. Corsairs coming out of the Little East Conference. We'll take a look at their starting lineup, led by their captain and point guard, Reece Freeman, a senior guard out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Jeff Macchi is the junior guard at the 2. Matt Walker is their forward out of Brockton, a junior. Brandon Stevens from Dorchester is a 6'3", 190-pounder at the forward spot. The center is David Riley, a freshman, 195-pound, 6'6" out of Boston, Mass. Rounding out the team for Brian Baptiste in his 24th season, one of the most successful coaches in all of Division III basketball, a 76 grad out of American International College. For Bridgewater State and Joe Foroba in his 17th year, it's Matt McLaughlin out there, Judah Jackson, Nick Motta, Cesar Oliveira, and Roland Millien. Millien and Riley to tip it, and here come the Corsairs right off the bat. A shot blocked away by Motta, and it's Millien coming down with it. And here comes Matt McLaughlin and the Bears offense here into the offensive end. That's Oliveira on the wing, driving baseline, has a shot and an offensive foul. Matt Walker was there to take it.
Matt Walker followed his high school career all the way up to now playing for UMass Dartmouth. Very fundamentally sound player. You can see that right there. Goes right to the basket on the opening tip-off and now drawing the charge.
Oliveira has struggled here early on the year. And picks up the early offensive foul. Again, the throw ahead by the Corsairs, a little too tall. And UMass Dartmouth turns it over. Turnover is a big part of what we were talking about in the pregame. We think it'll be a big key this evening, as the Corsairs tend to force a lot of steals. They get takeaways. If the Bears can force some takeaways of their own, they may have a good shot at it. Here's the full court pressure. Bridgewater breaks through it. Millien, open jumper. There you go. Bridgewater State in front, 2-0.
Easier said than done, but once you break that pressure, you're always going to have a layup on the other side of the court.
And you mentioned the Bears like to throw pressure right back at him. A long three from the wing for Stevens. Doesn't go down, but the Corsairs pull up the rebound. That's Macchi, top of the key. Jackson on defense. And here's Reece Freeman. Out of Cambridge Ridge and Latin. Freeman, the undisputed team leader, and he's the one that gets these Corsairs pushing up and down the floor. As another steal as Jackson comes away with it.
I was talking to Coach Mike Donovan. He said, in terms of starting five, UMass Dartmouth may have the better lineup, but Bridgewater has the depth. I mean, in terms of coming off the bench, you have Largest, you have Connor, and we have speedy point guard Anthony Goss. So he thinks like they have the depth to beat this team.
Corsairs do play two guys off the bench quite often. They have had 4 players come off the bench and play significant minutes throughout the year. Bears with it, offensive end, Oliveira in the corner. And now Jackson up top. Motta, an open three. Got it. Nick Motta shooting the ball well here in the early part of the year.
Great
42.9% beyond the arc.
Great ball movement by the Bears, not allowing the defense to get set on that one.
Corsairs back the other way. Stevens at the free throw line. And the Corsairs are on the board with a 15-foot jumper.
I'm actually interested to see if they're going to neutralize Roland Millien, considering both teams are pretty small. Neutralize them, let them be involved in pick and rolls.
There's the first steal for UMass Dartmouth. And Stevens knocks down another jump shot. Just like that, it's a 5-4 game. Bridgewater in front. Now the Bears looking to push. Oliveira down the floor. Millien another open jumper, and he cashes in one more time.
And Millien not known for the person to shoot the jump shots. He's known as a post player, but that just makes him more dangerous right there. And he does have a three-point shot, too.
He's knocked down 2 of 4 already this year, has Roland, and now on defense on the point guard. Riley was open down low. They got the center on guard matchup, and Jackson had to come over the top and apply the foul. That will be his first.
Like I was saying last UMass Dartmouth offensive possession, I try to involve David Riley, the center, when he's guarding Roland Millien, to neutralize him, get involved in pick and rolls to get Roland Millien out of the paint so he can open up the paint for it's easier for the Corsairs and drive to the basket.
Macchi on the wing, drives by Jackson, draws the double, lays it off for Walker, nothing to go in. Missed the layup, and Jackson pulls it down.
You got to make those. Those are meatballs right there. You have to make those.
Judah on the drive, loses the handle, and up come the Corsairs. Stevens the other way. Macchi thought he was open. Now Jackson on the floor. Here come the Bears. Oliveira 3-on-2 if he wants it. Leading it middle of the floor, finds Motta. Left-handed shot blocked away by Walker.
Walker showing shades of Tayshaun Prince blocking Reggie Miller 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Stevens on the wing. Is comfortable shooting it out there, but hands off to Freeman.
No movement on offense for the Corsairs.
They get a lot in transition. Let's see if the Bears can force them into some tough shots here in the half court. There's Riley on the pick and roll. Down low, wide open shot for Stevens. It's short, rebound fought for. Oliveira saves it. but step down the line, it'll stay Corsair basketball.
Yeah, overall, the Coasters are not moving offensively. Everyone's kind of standing around the three-point line, hoping for somebody to make a play. I mean, that's not, when basketball's played right, it's almost like watching ballet on hardwood. You want to watch everyone move around and work the ball around. You can't just stay stagnant.
Freeman taking his time. And he sets the pace for this Corsair team. They're just kind of feeling each other out right now as Macchi into the lane draws the second foul on Judah Jackson. The junior Macchi, a nice job of leaning into Jackson as he got by him, and now Judah with 2 personals is going to have to sit down.
They don't want to see Jackson leave, but you have sharpshooter Connor coming to the game. But I think it's coming to his own in the past couple of games. I mean, he's showing he's an offensive threat, having the ability to spread out the court with a 3-point threat.
Connor comes on. Heard Will Weir during Bears All Access mention that he thinks Connor could be the X factor in the game tonight. Corey has had a couple of good games back-to-back after not playing very much in the opener that we had here on the Bears Sports Network against Western New England College. He's then come in and in the last 3 games scored in double digits off the bench. Bears again breaking the pressure fairly easily. Now Millien in the lane. That's where he likes to go to work, but an offensive foul.
Once again, I mean, UMass Dartmouth being in the right position right there. Good call by the referee. I know Roland Millien is like that call. And here comes the Bridgewater press right here to try to cause a turnover.
Millien, again, in the face of Walker. They throw over the top of it to Riley. The long loping strides of the freshman get all the way to the tin, but nothing going.
It's so hard to get back on transition defense after you put on a press right there.
Well, this has been kind of a disjointed first 4 minutes. Nobody has any rhythm as McLaughlin gets by Macchi. And picks up the second foul against the Corsairs.
Well, these are 2 tough teams. I mean, that's why you don't have a lot of rhythm right now, because both teams are playing tough. I mean, when Bridgewater just faced Rhode Island College, unfortunately lost that game 80-86, number 16 team in the country. This is number 20. So, I mean, these are 2 fantastic teams. So, I mean, we're going to see both teams struggle early on.
Bears did suffer their first loss last week against Rhode Island College as Motta comes open and knocks down the elbow jumper.
We look at this guy, Motta, you think he's just an interior player, but this guy has shown that, he has the Dirk Nowitzki factor where he can shoot from the outside.
Got a very good jump shot inside of the arc as Macchi again going right to the rim. And now McLaughlin on the push has Oliveira for the layup.
That's how you look up the court right there. Look up the court, see who's open.
11-8, the Bears by 3. This is becoming a track meet early. Macchi an open jump shot. No doubt about it.
This is how both teams like to play right here. They like to push the pace of the game.
Bears the other way. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the first half. And it's Bridgewater by 1. Motta, open 3. He likes the look of that, but just short. Freeman away with a rebound, and here come the Corsairs quickly on the push. Riley sets up Stevens in the corner. The 3 is around and out. And there's Millien ripping down the board. 19 points, 16 rebounds last time out for Roland in the loss against Rhode Island College. And now Millien in the paint draws the foul and scores.
Yeah, fantastic acting job right there in the paint by the Corsairs. Unfortunately, the referee's not buying that. Roland Millien, just an absolute bull, just kicking it inside.
Well, while we have a break in the action, let's introduce the 3rd member of our broadcast crew. Let's go down the sideline and John Luck. John? Well, we'll take a second while John's getting himself settled as Millien knocks down the first free throw. 13-10, the Bears in front. Roland second, right down the middle. Pass, he is out of bounds, and the Corsairs been a little sloppy with it here early.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, I think both teams have been sloppy, to be quite frank with you. But it just goes to show. I think it's this press that they're putting on by both teams right now.
Well, Anthony Goss and Corey Reiser have checked in, a pair of point guards. Goss in the lane, puts up the 10-footer and can't get it to go.
I was talking to Anthony before the game. I said, Anthony, you got to go to the basket every single time you get the basketball. He has the ability to take over the game. I don't know why he settled for the jump shot on that one.
Freeman going one-on-one against Reiser and beats him to the rim. Well, that's a learning experience for the freshman Corey Reiser. Now trying to pass through the pressure. Bears do a nice job of it. Corner open for 3. Not there. Offensive rebound by the littlest guy on the floor, but can't get the follow shot to go. as Goss had his nose in there at the ball.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt this afternoon. He said they got to box out.
Open three, missed by Brandon Shelton. He's their super sub at 15.5 points a game in just 20 minutes off the bench. Macchi fall away. Back iron, a tip by Riley, went over the back of Millien, and that's the foul call. The fourth against UMass Dartmouth. Bears holding on to a slight lead, 14-12.
So when I was talking to Matt this afternoon, I said, Matt, what does your team need to do? And he said they need to box out, plain and simple.
Bears have it in the full court after Millien draws the foul on the strong box out. Again, Bridgewater will have to take a look at halftime how they do on the boards. So far, this has been such an up and down game. There really haven't been too many second shot attempts on either side. And another offensive foul.
Yeah, a lot of offensive fouls called early by Bridgewater.
Freeman guiding the offense for the Corsairs. This is Stevens on the wing. Up top to VJ Devine, the other team captain here for the Corsairs. Plays about 8 minutes off the bench tonight. And a steal by Goss. Here come the Bears 3-on-2. Anthony in the lane, up for the shot. And another offensive foul. This officiating crew is very fond of calling the offensive foul.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one, Pat.
I think the last two were
were very questionable.
And it varies in what level you're calling the game. Obviously, at the professional level, they have that semicircle underneath the basket that you can't be in. Even at the major Division I college level, you can't go in under a guy once he's taken off. That clearly on that last play. Credit Jeff Macchi, but he slid underneath Anthony Goss after Goss had left his feet. That usually is a defensive foul. There's a long pass ahead for Stevens, who finds the bottom of the net. We're all tied at 14, just 7 minutes into the first half.
Just to piggyback on what you said, that changes the way you play basketball, because next time you become hesitant going to the basket and you shoot unforced three-point shots that you normally wouldn't do.
Reiser in trouble, finds Millien on the sideline. Now the Bears have a shot at it, as Largess is checked into the game. 5 on the floor for the Bears. Derek Largess, Corey Connor, Andrew Groth, and Roland Millien. Reiser all the way into the paint. And the Bears will reset it with 12 seconds on the shot clock. With the dead ball, let's go down to our third member of our broadcast crew. It's John Luck. John, what's going on?
Thanks, guys. Drew Jackson, Nicholas Motta, and Roland Millien all had a pretty big year individually, but together they have scored over 53 points of the Bears scoring. So it's not really a question of whether they'll have a big night, but rather who will have a big night. Back to you, Newbie and Pat.
John, thank you so much. This is the new big three maybe for Bridgewater State, as Millien muscles his way to the 10 with 1 second on the shot clock.
This guy is an absolute bull. Originally I called him a moose, but he's playing like a bull right now.
There you go. Here's Shelton on the drive. Knocks it down. I think I like bull better than moose.
He's just an aggressive player. He's what I like to call a line cutter, just aggressive,
Largest middle of the floor as the ball poked away by Devine, and an over and back called by the near side official.
I got to tell you, I'm going to pull Roland aside and ask him what does he like better, the moose or the bull.
Well, whatever it is, it's been pretty good. 21 points, 11.5 rebounds every night so far in the 4 games this season. We'll pick up on John's point. The 3 guys at the top of this lineup for the Bears, Millien, Motta, and Jackson, at over 53 points a game. The Bears are scoring right around 86 points, so more than half of their scoring is coming from these 3 guys, the top 3 scorers in their lineup. McLaughlin on the drive, has the ball poked away and stolen by the Corsairs. A couple of new guys on the floor as Randy Torres and Tyler Tortoro have come on. Here's Shelton, top of the key. Sands down for Devine, and there's an offensive foul the other way. Bears have picked up on it as Cesar Oliveira takes the charge.
Offensive foul fest 2008 here in the Adrian Tinsley Center. When it comes to a point where you don't want to, the referees, you don't want to affect the game, affect the way the game is being played. But I think right now, if they continue to call these charges, they're going to affect the way both teams play basketball.
Devine steals the ball right out of the hands of Oliveira, and here come the Corsairs. Just up and down, wide open basketball as Walker finds his way to the rim.
The progression of Matt Walker is incredible. In high school, this guy was purely a three-point shooter. He can put the ball on the floor right now, and it just adds another element to his game. It's fantastic right now.
Walker, one of the top scorers for UMass Dartmouth. Right up there with Brandon Shelton. Both of them at 15 points a game. There's a steal. Torres shot no good. Rebound fought for, and it's out of bounds to the Bears. Bridgewater having a little bit of a harder time now breaking the pressure, the initial pressure from those front three. As you can see, they're setting the double team and then sometimes cutting the back pass. Here's Largess, open for a long jumper. It's a three, and he got it.
Like I said before, easier said than done, but once you break that pressure, you're always going to have a fast break opportunity or an open shot on the other side of the court.
Largess, a three-point specialist out of Sutton, Massachusetts, connects on his first tonight. And here comes Dartmouth. It's Shelton with it, guarded tough by Motta. Bears defense trying to tighten up with his one-point edge. Devine on the drive, blocked away by Oliveira, and the Bears have a man advantage if they want to take care of it. And a throwaway.
Yeah, careless turnover right there. You can't do that. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. We talked about that in the pregame show. You cannot shoot yourself. It can happen against Clark University, not against UMass Dartmouth. It is too good of a team to have unforced errors.
Well, Bears lucky enough that the Corsairs got a hand on it. And now Connor. And the Bears have it in the offensive end. Two good shooters, and then Motta, who's pretty dynamic offensively, gets it inside but can't convert. And UMass Dartmouth clears with Torres. Bears not stopping the ball. Torres going all the way to the rim, but another offensive foul, and Oliveira there to take it.
I got to tell you what, I'm not a big fan of this offensive foul stuff, honestly. It's just taken away from the rhythm of the game. I'm going to tell you this, Pat, in the second half or towards the tail end of this first half, it's going to affect the way both teams are going to play basketball. And you don't want a referee affecting the way teams play basketball. You want to monitor the game.
Well, I will say, if the guys aren't going to be smart enough to realize that you can't run somebody over, there's nothing wrong with a 5-foot jump shot. As the Corsairs come up with another steal, 13 1/3 steals a game for this team. As they again get another takeaway. Shelton, long three. Wow.
We're in a fight, Pat. We're in a fight.
Corsairs up 21-19. Right at the midway point of the first half. McLaughlin driving in the lane, high off the glass. Millien there to pull down the offensive rebound, and has it poked away by Turturro. Corsairs other way. Shelton has a lot of range. He's ready to take that shot from about 28 feet away. Now from the free throw line, he's long. Bears quickly 2 passes ahead. And it's Oliveira. Joe Faroba calling out the offensive play. Haven't been a whole lot of half-court basketball yet today. The Bears setting some screens for Largess. And there's a foul on the floor. That's going to be 7 team fouls against the Corsairs, and 1-1 coming up for Largess. This has been an up-tempo first half.
Yeah, up-tempo by both teams, and it almost seems like UMass, even though they're up by 2, they have control of this game, though. I'm sensing they're getting control of this game, and Bridgewater needs to get that back. I think they're kind of reacting rather than being proactive to UMass Dartmouth right now.
Well, it certainly seems like they're playing the Corsairs game as a couple of nifty passes get A.J. Devine an open layup, and it's a 4-point Dartmouth advantage. I mean, the Bears like to press and they like to run, but this is a little bit helter-skelter for their liking.
Well, teams that like to run don't like when you run on them. That's always a classic saying. We're seeing that here today.
Well, UMass Dartmouth starting to extend its defensive pressure as well. Millien having a hard time getting open down low. And now Largess, a long three on the way. Not a great shot, and here comes UMass Dartmouth. Turturro into the front, and Largess stops him there. Walker, he'll take an open three. Can't get it.
That's Luigi automatic right there. They lucked out.
You can hear the coaches to our left saying there's no rebounders there. Nobody went in after the shot, and the Bears able to get an easy defensive board. Nice pass down low. Millien open, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And once he's in that paint that close, it's pretty much over. You got to just foul him. I mean, good job by UMass right there following him, but you just got to take his hands and foul this guy, because that's automatic right there when he's in the paint. He's a bull.
Millien to the line where he's shooting 90% this year. And of course I say that. And he gets a little help.
So the classic announcer's curse.
Well, that one went in, so it worked out.
Jackson comes back to the game. He needs to watch out. He doesn't want to pick up his 3rd foul. I like this move by Coach Frober, though. You know, you want to teach your players discipline. I'm going to put you in there with 8 minutes left. Let's see if we're going to have discipline to not foul. I mean, when you do that, that gets them ready for the playoffs because you have to play the fouls in the playoffs because one and done.
8:15 left here in the first half. Jackson's back out there with 2 personals, and he's guarding a bigger man in David Riley as the Corsairs go the other way. Here's Shelton shooting over Motta.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. Brandon Shelton has made a couple of those already, and the Bears turn it over in the offensive end. Shelton again looking to drive, gets in the lane, little runner. Oh, that looked an awful lot like an offensive foul, but instead, the first block we've got tonight in one of those situations, and Brandon Shelton going to go to the free throw line.
Actually, it's the second block, but nevertheless, I just think they're inconsistent. I mean, I don't see the consistency in the calls. I mean, I don't see any reason why that can't be called a charge. You know, this is when you get trouble with the officiating. It's when you're not consistent and when you change the way the game is being played.
Shelton at the free throw line. Can't connect on the first. Pretty good free throw shooter. Coming in at 71%. And he gets 1 of 2. Well, we want to remind you, at halftime, we'll have Bears at the half. Go back upstairs to Chuck Scott and Will Weir. They'll give you some analysis of the first half. Go over the first half stats and get you set up for the MASCAC standings, as well as recap the Bridgewater State women, who got a nice win last night. And they'll visit with one of the women's captains there at halftime. That's all coming up in just a few minutes as Nick Motta knocks down a jump shot, 3-point game. Corsairs with the basketball. Here's Torres running the offense. A lot of bench time here for the Corsairs in this first half. In their first 4 games, we haven't seen them use their bench this much. You mentioned Mike Donovan told you before the game that the associate head coach for the Bears thought the bench was going to be an advantage for Bridgewater. As Turturro knocks down the 3.
And we haven't seen much of the bench for Bridgewater. As you see the Corsairs knock down the 3 from Santa Monica.
Motta all the way to the 10. That time UMass Dartmouth didn't stop the ball. Brian Baptiste is hot. He wants a timeout. We're going to step aside. 29-25. The Bears down 4. 6:48 left here in the first half.
Cranberry juice cocktail. Game-changing play. Pulls up, turn around to win it. Got it! Welcome back to the madness.
Back at the Adrian Tinsley Center alongside Newbie Ratto, I'm Pat Riley. It's a 29-25 UMass Dartmouth lead, the number 20 team in all of Division III here at Bridgewater State to take on the Bears, who've suffered their first loss of the year last week against Rhode Island College, an 86-80 defeat. Bears so far perfect here at home. And in an up and down contest, it's been turnovers that have been a big story. Dartmouth has the advantage, but the Bears come up with a takeaway here. Corey Reiser out on the floor as Chris Dijak has checked in. Motta, Jackson, and Oliveira still out there for Joe Faroba's team. Trying to call for an isolation play as Oliveira comes off a pick. Gives it up for Jackson. The one-on-one with Walker. Judah having a hard time finding an opening, but spins to a jump shot and knocks it down. That was good defense by Matt Walker, and Jackson just spun away from it.
That's good basketball right there by both teams. I think it's fantastic right there. But just want to piggyback. You know, Judah Jackson was originally open when that offensive possession started. They need to look up and look for the open man. They don't need to go to half-court offense all the time.
Well, we've seen the Bears get a couple of easy shots in transition as a steal by Torres. Oliveira a little sloppy, but makes up for it. No. Cesar Oliveira high in the air to take that one away. And here the Bears on offense. Foul called on Stevens. He swiped at the wrist of Motta. Nick's going to go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
And I'm always talking about this. Got 5:42 left in the first half. Is this going to be a turning point? Is this going to be that turning point? You need to turn up the notch right now going to halftime. Who's going to have the momentum going into halftime? You got 5 minutes left. A team's going to make a push. Will it be Bridgewater? The question of the day.
Nick Motta trying to help provide you an answer at the free throw line. Nick, pretty serviceable free throw shooter. Can't get the first one to go. Dijak taps it back, but Freeman, the senior captain, there to steal it away. Here come the Corsairs. Stevens, open three. Bang.
He did that so many times at New North High School, winning 2 Division I state titles. Fantastic shooter.
Brandon Stevens knocks down another. The deficit for the Bears is 5. Jackson on the wing, finds McLaughlin down low. Here's Oliveira trying to answer. And a little bit short. Motta there to get the rebound and lay it in.
You know, this is how coaches get gray hair. I mean, when you don't box out right there, no one's boxing them out.
Long three the other way, and Stevens, they don't want to leave him open. He's knocked down 2 in a row.
3-point party, and everyone's invited.
35-29. Bears trail it by 6. You asked about the run. Bridgewater looking for a good offensive possession here. Jackson into the lane, finds McLaughlin, and he sets up Motta beautifully. Open three, connects. Matt McLaughlin, a great job dribbling to his right to draw the defense and give Motta a little extra space as Shelton the other way. And there's an offensive foul. Dijak was waiting the whole time, and he just anticipated Shelton coming all the way in.
Offensive foul? You're kidding. I thought they didn't call those.
You like those, right? 35-32. It's the Corsairs by 3.
And this is interesting to see. Bridgewater can make a run. Roland Millien on the bench. You want to give him some rest going into the second half where he can refresh.
Quick blow for 2 of Brian Baptiste's best players as Jackson high in the air to get the catch and then goes up for a shot with the left hand and can't get it to go.
Judah Jackson looked like a tight end right there on the football field.
There's Torres into the lane. Has his shot bothered by Dijak. Stevens again open. Another 3. Around and out. Macchi with the offensive board. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay UMD ball. Matt McLaughlin chuckling as Brandon Stevens just shot it right in his eye and almost knocked it down.
He is prepared to shoot at all times. Reminds of Eddie House. Just when he wakes up, you give him a basketball, he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot somewhere.
Freeman on the inbound. Got a quick blow and some instructions from Coach Baptiste here on the sideline in front of us. As Riley loping into the lane as the ball poked away by Motta. And
the traveling violation.
Travel was the call. Well, they're going to be tired tonight. Just up and down. Still, I don't think there's much of a rhythm to this game.
I'm not going to be tired. They're going to be tired.
McLaughlin on the offensive side of it. Matty to the free throw line. Hands from Motta. He's had a big night so far. Nice pass on the back cut, but Goss had the shot blocked away. And they're going to readjust the shot clock. The hometown operator, a little helpful. He reset the shot clock for the Bears. Probably should not have, and now they're going to readjust. Looks like they'll set it at 22 seconds. And Bridgewater will have the basketball a side out.
20 seconds on the shot
20
clock.
seconds. And the Bears will take it out here right in front of us. With plenty of time to get a good shot. We finally get a little life out of the crowd. It's coming from the visitors, as UMD has traveled fairly well. The Bridgewater crowd's still pretty quiet.
Well, a lot of local guys on this UMass Dartmouth team.
Dijak mugged and no call. Here comes Dartmouth the other way. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay UMass basketball.
We have Matt Walker from Brockton, the town over, and we have Brandon Stevens from Dorchester, who played basketball at New North High School. Just a fantastic team that he played for. I mean, playing with 2 Division I players, Anthony Gurley, who went to Wake Forest,
right,
and Corey Lowe, who plays for Boston University now.
Gurley was one of the better players in the ACC at the time.
Yeah, actually transferred now to UMass Amherst.
Right.
Still playing Division I basketball. In his center, we saw him in the tournament. Well, actually, did not see it at the tournament, but he's playing for Curry College, actually. Center for New North. So, great program over there.
Another clock issue. They had to reset the shot clock. And again, full court pressure. They tried to cut it off. Freeman couldn't come in and get the steal, and now the Bears have an offensive opportunity. But Corey Connor, a very talented shooter and scorer, not the best ball handler on the floor. As Connor goes into the lane, and there he is finding a shot off the glass. And Corey Connor, a nose for the bottom of the net. And it's a one-point game. Walker over Motta. Got it to fall in.
Arguably one of the worst offensive possessions in the history of basketball right there. He's lucky he got that shot, and there was no movement on the offense.
McLaughlin left-handed full court pass. Now Connor open again, but pulls it down. Shoot it one more time. There it is. Corey Connor knocks down a three. The Bears are within one at 38-37.
If anything you can do, I can certainly do better, says Connor.
Here's Stevens. Oliveira's got to know he's a threat to shoot. Now Riley working on the post over Dijak. Shot doesn't go down. McLaughlin tips it the rebound, and it goes out of bounds to the Corsairs.
I got to tell you what, the Corsairs have been absolutely fantastic shooting the three-point ball. But once they go cold, and they may not go cold, they're a fantastic three-point shooting team. It's going to be trouble. They need more movement on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, just 38% this year from the three-point arc. So you're right, the Corsairs very good shooting it from beyond that 19-foot mark. But really, it seems like a kind of a slow, latent effort for them here the last couple of minutes. They're lucky to be up by one, and I think it's turnovers like that have put them there. Stevens gets the layup off the Bears giveaway. And now Bridgewater trying to get it in again. Long pass intercepted Walker. There's Motta stepping in front and tipping the ball away. Not a whole lot of people coming to the basketball. And they look a little tired.
Let me tell you how to break this press. Easier said than done, but let me tell you the formula to do it. You got to attack it from the middle. Because if you attack it from the wings, you're going to end up doing cross-court passes, which leads to steal. That's what the press wants you to do. They want you to do wing passes. You got to attack it from the middle.
1:48 left in the half. Bears down 3, and you're watching it all right here on the Bears Sports Network. Oh, Bridgewater has been led by Nicholas Motta. He's having a good night tonight shooting the basketball. What can they do? You said, get some guys moving towards the ball. What else can you do to help break this pressure?
Well, I mean, in terms
They're
of
trying to throw over it a lot.
Well, I mean, that's what the press wants you to throw long balls, and they want you to go cross court. Once you attack at the middle, first of all, you want the point guard to get the basketball. There's too many big men getting the basketball during this paint, which causes more turnovers. You want someone who can control the basketball. You got to give it to your point guard and attack it by the middle because that limits cross-court passes. Easier said than done, but that's the formula to success.
Well, the Corsairs have it. Bears are going to have to play defense first. Down by 3 points. They want to keep it close as we go towards halftime. 1:40 to go. And again, at the break, we'll go to Bears halftime, or Bears at the half, pardon me, as that's out of bounds to Bridgewater State. And Chuck Scott and Will Weir will join us. They'll talk about the first half here, go over some stats, and recap the women's win from last night, and have a nice visit with Captain Michaela Johnson. We're happy to have as part of the Bears Sports Network staff. As Motta down the middle on a nice feed from McLaughlin, and the Bears back within one.
What a hook shot right there. Jabbar.
Freeman the other way. Into the lane. Shot was bothered, but he got it to go. And now Oliveira triggers it in. McLaughlin looking for some help as Dijak steps up. And now it's Connor in the front court. Joe Foroba looking for the Bears to run a play with 20 seconds to shoot.
Want to go backdoor right now as they're sitting in screen, top of the key. They want to try to go backdoor.
McLaughlin, long three, around the rim and out. Connor was there for the rebound, but it's taken away by Walker. So here come the Corsairs. They've got a full 30 seconds to get one up. Bears will probably get the last shot if they can defend and rebound here. Macchi, open layup. Too easy for UMass Dartmouth. And now the Bears will bring it up. If they can get through the pressure, they'll have a shot at the final opportunity to score.
Dangerous right there. As I thought that hit behind the backboard.
It did, but it was tipped by a Corsair defender. And the Bears need somebody to come to the ball. As now the Corsairs fall back into man defense. They'll defend with a 5-point lead. Last possession of the half. Connor trying to stay in bounds, and he just let the pressure get to him. That's something for young players. Young players back away from pressure. Veteran players step into it and push their guy away. You know, nothing more effective than taking the basketball, stepping in towards your defender and lowering your head. You get a little space that way. As Freeman the other way, trying to get a final shot up. Stevens, it'll count if it goes. Got it! What a punctuation mark to the first 20 minutes. 47-39. It's an 8-point Dartmouth lead at the break. And Newbie, that's not the way that Bridgewater State wanted to end this first half.
I've seen that so many times following his career at New North. This guy's an absolute shooter. We're always talking about closing out halves. That's not the way you want to close out a half right there. Then it's funny because they're putting a hand in his face. Brandon Stevens is just an excellent shooter. And they're making the threes. But here's the point, Pat. They're making the threes right now. But if they go cold, let me preface it by saying they're a fantastic three-point shooting team. And that could not happen. But if they do go cold, I like Bridgewater's chances. They're only down by 8 points, and they're shooting great from the three-point line. I like Bridgewater's chances in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they're in position here. You wish they wouldn't have given up that three-pointer right at the end, but they're in position to make something happen. And now trail it by 8 at halftime. Well, we'll step aside when we come back. It's Bears at the half. It'll be Chuck Scott and Will Weir talking to you on the other side of this break here on the Bears Sports Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam. Your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke, F-A-S-T, fast.
Welcome back. This is the Bears All Access Halftime Show. I'm Chuck Scott. This is Will Weir, and we are recapping the first half. And we also have Michaela Johnson will join us, and we'll preview the second half of this game. But first, a recap of the first half. What did you see in the first half?
Well, what I saw was a lot of offensive fouls.
This
Personally, I have never seen that many in most likely a game, never mind the first half of one. And as hectic as this game has been, right now 47-39, the Corsairs lead heading into halftime. Huge three-point shot at the buzzer. But the game has been hectic. It's been up and down. It's been up-tempo, just like we thought.
Yep.
But all these offensive fouls kind of throwing the rhythm of the game off. As soon as you get something going, there's been a whistle for it's been going on both sides as well, which is why when towards the end of the half, Roland Millien got called for a blocking foul, and you can see Coach Faroba visibly upset in the sideline because he's saying there's been offensive fouls all game. How are you going to call that a blocking foul?
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with him, but for the Bears, Nick Motta having a huge half, and the Corsairs kind of sharing the wealth around.
Yeah, the Corsairs sharing the wealth around, but one big thing that Newbie Rateau touched on before the game was turnovers, and we see UMass Dartmouth's pressure defense getting the job done today.
Definitely they are, and they are all very quick. Like we said, neither team very tall, but everyone on the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs is very quick and very attentive, and they're all ball hawks. They're all ready to get to that ball.
Yep, and if there's any shining light from a 47-39 halftime deficit for Bridgewater is they are getting defensive rebounds. They are getting second chance looks on the offensive boards. Nick Motta getting a good amount of the boards. And Cesar Oliveira having a good amount of boards. I think he was up to 8 at halftime. with defensive rebounds, also some offensive rebounds. So rebounding a big key for Bridgewater in the second half, but they really need to cut down those turnovers. Looking very sloppy in the first half, which is, I think you can agree with me, pattern with
it is definitely a pattern with this team. What this team needs to do is on offense, they need to slow it down. For one, Judah Jackson has been almost not even there.
No,
have not seen much out of him. And Roland Millien started off the game very nicely, very strong. I believe around about 8-10 points. But they need to get him more emphasis in this game right now. Maybe get him in the post, get him to that freely, give him a chance to pump fake, go up into somebody's body, get a foul call, maybe an and one, get some momentum going. He is the leader of this team. He's the one that can get this crowd back into this game.
Right. We mentioned 28 for 31 going into this game at free throws over 90%. But he has missed a few free throws, and the Bears actually, as a team, have not shot the ball well in this first half from the free throw line. I think you can agree with that. So, as a recap, sloppy play from really Bridgewater and great pressure defense from UMass Dartmouth. But we'll take a quick break, and after the break, we will have Michaela Johnson joining us to preview the women's basketball season after this break.
Stay tuned.
And we're back, and we're with Michaela Johnson, one of the leaders of the women's basketball team. How you doing, Michaela?
Doing great today, Chuck. How are you?
All right, and you guys are coming off a huge win against Rhode Island College. And how does it feel to be? You guys are 3-1 now.
Absolutely. Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. And coming off a big tournament in SUNY Oswego, losing the first game, but I mean a huge win in the consolation game and big wins against RIC and another MASCAC foe. But what do you think are the keys for this season going into it?
Well, I think a lot of our heart is definitely going to come through this season. We are a young team, as many people know. We lost a lot of key players last year, and I know that that's mentioned a lot. But you know what? It is great to push ahead and to look ahead. The team that we've got this year is amazing. You know what we lack in physical size, we make up for it in heart, in speed. You know, we're busting our butts that much more every day at practice. So. And
in the game against SUNY Cobleskill, we saw Corey Cuddy explode for 32 points. Do you think that she really is the key for the Bridgewater teams? Because we heard Joe Farova say, as Roland Millien goes, the Bears go. Do you think that holds true for maybe for the Lady Bears?
You know, it's tough to say. It's still really early in the season. Corey is a great player, and she came out big. Absolutely in that game, you know, over 30 points, and it was a career high for her, which was amazing. And I think she's of course is a key player, but I also feel that we're all key players this year. It's going to be a different person, a different game, a different day. Who's going to step up that day? You know, we'll see. So it looks really promising.
And also, who do you think we have a lot? It seems like you have a lot of leaders with the young team. You obviously one of them. Corey Cuddy is a sophomore, is one of them. Who else do you think is going to step up as a leader for this girls' team?
Well, definitely team. Ashley Cucci. She's our sole senior this year. Her and I actually did get appointed captains just recently, so that was a big move for us. But at the same time, a lot of our returners are really picking it up. And like I said, it is a day-by-day thing. It's just all of us collectively picking each other up. And, you know, fingers crossed, we're really trying to push each other as much as we can.
Right. And what are some of the goals going into the season? I know, obviously, a MASCAC championship is up there.
Absolutely.
What are some other goals going into the season?
Definitely just right now, speaking just in terms of the beginning of the season, working together, just still getting that team dynamic going. Like I said, we are a young team. It's tough to just kind of pick that back up again from where we left off last season. But I think one of our goals is definitely first, you know, achieving playoff status. And then going on from there, a MASCAC win would be great, and just chipping away every game, working one day at a time.
Now, your coach, Bridget Casey, what do you think her role is in keeping this young team getting this young team, to play like a veteran team? How do you think she's been doing that with a 3-1 record?
I think that her being a veteran and her being, you know, 12 years here just about, she really knows how to push us and how to criticize us in a way that'll really want to push us and make us exceed and do better the next time. So I really think that her being a veteran herself, is really helping this team along and really giving us that extra push. And, you know, telling us straight up, you know, we are a small team, but we got to push and work that much harder.
Now, you've obviously watched this first half, and we talked with about 5 minutes left in the first half about all the offensive fouls and such. What is your prediction? I kind of want to get an inside scoop from a basketball player. Your prediction for the second half in this Bears basketball game?
Well, if the second half is anything like the first one, it'll be very scrappy, very interesting, very close game. The refs, you know, it's hard to tell. The refs, of course, are a big part of it. They're not the whole part. We, you know, the men's team at Bridgewater, they got to pick up their defense, of course, but I've never seen that many offensive charges called in a game, let alone a half. So.
All right. Well, you heard it straight from Michaela's mouth. The men's team has to pick up their defense in the second half. Thank you very much, Michaela, and good luck on your season.
Thanks,
and we'll be right back. Will Weir will join us again for the predictions in the second half after this break.
Well, thank you very much, guys. 8 points. The deficit at halftime for Bridgewater State, 47-39. You see the score in front of you. Alongside Nubia Ratto, I'm Pat Riley. Thanks so much again for staying with us here on a Wednesday evening. It's the last home game that the Bears will have here in the 2008 part of the season. As you saw, the guys talked about, they'll go to Wheaton, play one more game on the road, and then go out to the Cactus Jam in Phoenix. Newbie, for the Bears to come back and get a real good shot at winning this game. Give me two things the Bears need to do better here in the second half.
They need to box out and they need to limit the turnovers. And those are the two most important things.
That's Nubia Ratto's word. Let's hear from John Luck about what the coaches had to say at halftime. John, what do you got?
Thank you very much, guys. I talked to Coach Joe Ferrova just before the second half started, and he said that they work on a couple of big things. First of all, ball transition, and second of all, keeping control of the ball. They had 16 turnovers in this first half. And I talked earlier about who's going to have a bigger night. Tonight it's Nicholas Motta, who has 16 points, followed by Roland Millien with 11. Let's send it back to you guys.
John, thank you so much. We talked a lot, Newbie, about turnovers before this game began. They both teams have a good number of them. We didn't notice one team necessarily having a big edge. It's the Corsairs by 3 in the turnover margin right now. Bears have 16, as John mentioned. That's an awful lot and a half. They forced the Corsairs to give it up 13 times their own. I think that's why we right after we got out of the first half, we turned to each other and go, that was a really disjointed first half. There really wasn't a whole lot of flow in the first 20 minutes. And I think a lot of that was because each team kept giving the ball back to the other one. And like you said, turnovers, I kind of think whoever takes control of the basketball in the second half and takes care of it better will win the game tonight, despite the three-point shooting that we've seen from UMass Dartmouth. Well, we're about ready to get underway here in the second half. For the second half of play-by-play, it's my broadcast partner, Nubia Ratto.
Just piggyback on what you said, too. I mean, it's not so much turnovers. It's unforced turnovers they're doing right now. So by the Corsairs, and just right off the bat, they have a fast break opportunity to the basket. Rejected by Judah Action Jackson. Wow. Oliveira called for a blocking foul on the Corsairs. So a call going Bridgewater's way early on in the second half.
You know, Judah Jackson, that's a heck of a play to make the block, but another just silly pass, you know, into the paint. Roland didn't have great position down low. It's a high bouncing pass, didn't have a whole lot of zip on it. You know, taking care of the basketball is more than, dribbling the ball well. It's making good passes, smart passes, and hard passes. And the Bears need to do a little bit more of that here in the second half.
Connor to the basket, gets it in.
Well, you know, he doesn't look like a whole lot when he's out there loping around, but Corey Connor knows how to get the ball in the bottom of the net.
Stevens leading scorer in the first half with 17 points. And the Bears will take the ball for Corsairs turnover, 47-41. UMass Dartmouth up by 6 points. Just on the way in the second half. Once again, Pat, it seems like they're having trouble getting the ball inbounds on this press.
And, you know, Motta's telling the backside official that David Riley's not giving him the 3 feet that you're supposed to give. But you know what? He should be right on top of him if he wanted to and still be able to get a pass out.
Time to get the ball in bounds. Connor out to Jackson.
There's Millien.
In the inside to Roland Millien. unfortunately goes out of bounds. Last touch on the Corsair, so Bears will recover. Once again, a dangerous pass, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, Roland had Walker on his back. It was over, but the Bears weren't able to get the ball there on time.
Connor thought about the three. To the basket in the inside now. Goes out of bounds. Last touch again on the Corsair, and just seems like when it rains, it pours with these turnovers. Unfortunately, again, Bears getting the ball back.
What's that they say? It's not a turnover unless you lose it.
Having a tough time inbounding the ball. Jackson finally gets it. Triple team. Shoots. Looking for a foul and will get it. He'll beat the line for 2.
I don't think so. I think they're calling it out of bounds, a clean block.
Nevertheless, I mean, the Bears having a tough
Getting
time
frustrated, don't
offensively.
you
Yeah,
think?
exactly. And this is the aggressive defense that you want to play against your opposition. You want to get them frustrated. You want them to shoot, shots that are unnecessary, 3-point shots when you got someone in your face like that.
You made a great point earlier, Nube, about throwing in some back cuts, throwing in some quick passes, take advantage of this over-aggressive defense and use it against them.
Action Jackson for 3, no. Rebounded by Roland Millien, just gets assaulted. Here with the charity strike for 2 free throws.
Well, there's Roland taking one of the advantages that Bridgewater should have tonight and really didn't exercise enough of in the first half, and that's on the glass. Roland going to take a minute because he had some big bodies fall on top of him pretty hard. Bears didn't win the rebounding battle in the first half. UMass Dartmouth had 3 more offensive rebounds. They had 18 total. The Bears with 15. So those 2 big categories we talked about earlier, rebounds and turnovers, the Corsairs won both of those categories and won the first half.
Millien makes him the first free throw. Fantastic free throw shooter for someone his size. Second free throw is good.
Well, as you showed us earlier this week with that great piece that we aired in the Bears All Access, I mean, Roland was a Division II player. He was on his way to D2 before the ACL injury hurt him at the end of his career at Stoughton, and the Bears are just lucky to have him here at the Division III level.
Almost was not going to play here in Bridgewater. Goes off the foot of Motta. Last touch on the Bears, so the Corsairs will recover. 43-47, Bears down by 4 with 18:25 left in the second half. I'm Nubirato, joined by Pat Riley here in the Adrian Tinsley Center. This Freeman in the inside to Walker. Nice alley-oop right there.
Yeah, and a good set offense from UMass Dartmouth. They're out executing the Bears here in the half court as well.
McLaughlin loses the ball. Turnover on the Bears. Corsair slowing things down. Now shoots. Can't get it in. Offensive rebound. Slowing things down. In the inside, Stevens, no. Offensive rebound again. Pump fakes, yes, puts it in. Jeff Macchi. Offensive rebounds, Pat.
Yeah, you don't want to give up offensive rebounds to guards. And I suppose you could say that is somewhat due to the Bears having a little bit of a size issue. But right now it seems to me like an execution issue.
Here's Motta. Baseline jump shot, gets it in. Matt McLaughlin for 2. See if the Bears can find some kind of offensive rhythm in the second half. Stevens been on fire from the 3-point line. To the basket, kicks it back outside. Shoots from the elbow, no. Rebound by Millien. Here's McLaughlin. McLaughlin to the basket. Can't get in. Judah Jackson with the offensive board.
Yeah, Judah's got that unique ability to just come flying from nowhere and get into the play.
Here's Macchi, top of the key down to Freeman. Macchi guarded by Carter. Bears playing a man-to-man defense. Off the backboard, can't get in. Bears get the board. Here's McLaughlin. Connor. Launches, gets it in. And that's the X factor that Will Ware was talking about.
Right back in the face of Brandon Stevens. who did that so much in the first half. 17 first half points for the Corsair wingman.
Bears down by 1, 51-50. And we're going to have an offensive foul on David Riley with the push-off. And he looks at the referee and almost says, what did I do? I just pushed him.
And that's Roland being a veteran player against a freshman right there. Got up in his face, defended him, you know, made the guy get a little bit frustrated and give him a little push and then a little flail of the arms and throw the head back a little bit. With an official right next to you, that'll usually work out.
VJ Devine comes to the game, number 44 for the Corsairs. McLaughlin, guarded by Freeman. To the basket, stops inside of Millien. Millien can't get it in. That's a lollipop. Offensive board, puts it up, count it, and the foul. The emotion right now by Roland Millien, I think that's what carries the team over the top right there.
Well, it's the first Bears lead since about 8 minutes left in the first half. It's been a long time and a pretty big road to just overcome 4 or 5 points. So see what Bridgewater can do with the lead here.
Bears with the lead. Here's Freeman. Stevens, he's been the hot hand. Stevens trying to go baseline. What a move. Loses the ball, they recover. In the inside to Macchi, gets it in. Both teams gain some rhythm, Pat. Here's Jackson. Jackson slowing things down to McLaughlin, looking for Roland Millien. Millien loses the ball. Another turnover.
Yeah, not a bad idea from Matty there, but just didn't quite deliver the pass on point. He was a little inaccurate.
Stolen by Judah Jackson. Here's Jackson. Clear lane to the basket with the tomahawk. Throw down, big man. One time, please. Stolen again by the Bears, and finally the crowd getting to the game. The defense for the Bears finally coming up. And I think this is a good time when UMass Dartmouth Corsairs get possession to call a timeout.
They'll take it. They need it. The Bears on a run. And they finally got this crowd into it.
And we'll take a break. Bridgewater 55, UMass Dartmouth 53.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
We are back here in the Adrian Tinsley Center. Your Bridgewater State Bears making a run, 55-53. Pat, you're the coach right now. What do you tell the Corsairs? I mean, do you tell them right now, guys, calm down, we're only down by 2. Do you want them to lose their emotions right now? Because honestly, they're only down by deuce with 14 minutes left, plenty of time.
Oh, absolutely. There's eons of time. This is just a game again. They're down because they lost their lead, not because they're out of the game. I mean, you got all the talent in the world on the floor right now for them. You have Stevens and Shelton, and to me, if I'm Brian Baptiste, they'd say, all right, let's re-extend this pressure. I'm surprised they're not pressuring the ball up the floor again. And I put the ball in the hands of Reece Freeman and say, get us a couple of good shots. Get us 3 good possessions.
Here's McLaughlin. Surprised I've not seen too much of Anthony Goss, backup point guard for the Bears.
Well, Matty's playing real well this year, and I think Goss is going to have to get a little more efficient when he's on the floor to get more minutes.
Jackson misses the free throw line jump shot. Here come the Corsairs, slowing things down. Looking inside, stolen by Roland Millien.
Yeah, Roland just picked up the feed on that one.
Judah Jackson, baseline jump shot, can't get it in.
Not a bad shot there, though.
Freeman to the basket. Elbow jump shot, gets it in. All tied up at 55. Connor for 3, yes! He's a flamethrower.
Oh, and he's talking with Stevens, too. They've got a little conversation going tonight.
You know, little trash talk can never hurt anybody. In the inside, here's Devine. Puts it up, gets fouled by Millien, and he's not happy with the call.
Yeah, Roland did a good job of angling Devine away from the basket, but when the big guy turned to take the shot, I think he got a little greedy and tried to step in a little closer. There's a little bit of contact, and I think he invited the call. He might have been able to with the space, actually get up there and get a hand on the shot. Devine's not a real tall guy, not a really high release.
First free throw's good. And speaking of the devil, Anthony Goss comes to the game, replacing Matt McLaughlin.
Like I said, for Anthony here, I mean, he had some real good minutes last season. This year it's been, a little more hit or miss. He's only played, 9 minutes, 11 minutes the last couple of games. Being more efficient and taking care of the basketball is really the key for him.
Here's Jackson be double team, cross-court pass, dangerous. Here's Oliveira, top of the key. Oliveira to the basket, loses the ball. Here's Freeman, slowing things down, waiting for his teammates to catch up. On the baseline, nice bounce pass to Devine, puts it in for 2.
Yeah, Macchi's a good little player. He's got a nice jump shot, takes care of the basketball pretty well. He's made some real good passes in this game.
Now Goss slowing things down. Both teams looking to have some kind of half-court offense going on rather than the first half when they were trying to push the ball. In the inside now, can't get it in.
Not a bad shot, but where are the other guys going for the rebounds?
That's been the story of the whole game. There's Shelton. Stevens for 3. No. Here's Goss. Bounce pass to Jackson. Jackson puts it up, gets assaulted. He'll be lined for 2 free throws.
Yeah, that could have been an open dunk. Again, for Anthony, it's just kind of growing up a little bit as a player. He's got all the skills in the world. We talk about it every time he comes out. He's the fastest guy on the floor. He's got some real good ball handling skills, but he comes out with that outlet, and, yes, he's got a defender on him, but right away, Judah Jackson's down the floor with a good lead. If you catch the ball on the outlet, look up first before you put the ball on the deck. Then you've got a shot to free yourself to make that pass and give Judah an easy 2. I mean, he's going out there and earning them on the stripe now, so it's going to work out. But I'd take a dunk over having to shoot 2 free throws.
Exactly, and it just comes down to the little stuff. I mean, that's what separates a 500 team to a championship team right there. Little stuff like looking up.
Gets the crowd into it. I mean, we've got a pretty good house tonight, but it's been fairly quiet, and there hasn't been a whole lot of emotion in the building this evening, and that's what really helps. Start making that visiting team wish that they weren't on the road. They start thinking about their own home and how nice it is when they're with their own crowd.
Macchi. Here's Torres. Torres can't get it off the glass. Offensive rebound gets rejected by Oliveira. Here's Jackson fighting for the ball. Bears have numbers. Jackson can't get it in. Fighting for the offensive board, no.
Can't put your head down after a miss.
Here comes Torres going coast to coast.
It's your favorite call.
Guess what? Charging on UMass Dartmouth.
You know what? That's Caesar's 3rd already tonight. We used to get pizzas for that in high school. I think Caesar's going to eat like a king tonight.
Goss being double teamed. In trouble, out to Jackson. Bears have a 3-on-2. In the inside, guess what? Charging foul on the Bears.
Yeah, and they deserve that one. I mean, Nick had the right thought. Pull up. That's his shot to about 10, 15 feet away. There's nothing wrong with a pull-up jump shot because these guys on both sides are getting in good position. You can't just lean through a guy. That's high school stuff.
Torres man the point guard, guarded by Goss. Torres. Top of the key now, jump shot by Macchi, gets it in. And here comes that trap. Here's Goss. Shoots from the elbow, gets it in. That's all day for him right there.
Yeah, that shot is well within his arsenal, and a nice defensive play there.
Timeout call by the coach there. Smart play by Macchi right there. He was in trouble, so we're all tied at 61. Both teams finding an offensive rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, Newbie, they are, and there's a lot less pressure. I wonder if the coaches are feeling like their teams were a little tired in that first half, but the turnover numbers are going to be a lot better here in the second half. We've had a lot more offense. there's a lot of time left in this game, and if either of these teams gets a little hot, I wouldn't surprise us if we get up into the high 80s, maybe touch 90 tonight.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Matt this afternoon. He said, they like to run and gun. They're a run and gun team. Bridgewater's a run and gun team. So, this is going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to come down to, which team. It looks like which team is going to get the rebound. I mean, both teams are not boxing out, not getting a defensive rebound, allowing the opposition to get too many second-chance points. Here's Torres to Toro. Shelton launches from the parking lot, gets it in.
He's got a tough shot to block, too. A tall guy, and that shot's coming right out the very top of a long arm. Oliveira is probably one of the best defenders on this team as far as a one-on-one defender, and he's got no shot at blocking that.
That was close to the NBA range right there, as we have a foul on the Corsairs.
Shelton 6'4", and he looks like one of those kids that's got the longer wingspan than his height. He's got to be releasing that ball at about 7'3", almost 8 feet up in the air.
Macchi will take a seat. Matt Walker come back into the game. Again, Matt Walker averaging 15 points for the Corsairs, a native Brocktonian.
And the question here is who's going to get the rebounds with two guards, Connor, Oliveira, and Motta on the floor. This is where you're asking Caesar to be more of a rebounder than he's been before. Take advantage of his length and leaping ability.
This is a time where I'm surprised Dijak's ended the game. Just as I say that, Roland Millien gets off the bench and will be in the game after the next whistle. Here's Walker, nice bounce pass to Torres off the glass and in.
It's a great back cut.
Here's Goss, spinning. Out of control right there, goes out of bounds, and fortunately for the Bears, last touch on Corsairs.
Two sides of a coin in that one play. Nick Motta, instead of rushing and getting into a trap, took his time, took a nice little drop step, found Anthony here on the near sideline, showed the advantages of just taking a deep breath and playing within yourself. Then, Anthony on the other side just gets out of control.
Anthony to the basket, can't get in, but that's too easy right there.
Yeah, that's a nice move. And it shows you he does have all the talent available. He's got the skills to make those kind of plays. And there'll be a spot during this season where he rattles off 5 or 6 really great games in a row. And it's just harnessing all that good stuff and playing within himself. You can be so fast, but know where you're going. Have a good head on your shoulders and not get out of control.
Nice backdoor bounce pass, puts it in for 2. Tyler Totoro puts it in. Here's McLaughlin. Connor thought about the 3, double team now. Here's Motta to the basket, can't get off the glass. Offensive rebound by Millien momentarily. Goss gets the board, resetting the offense. Stolen again by the Corsairs. Helter skelter right here by both teams.
Yeah, again, it's things get unsettled. That's where the turnovers come from. A nice move by the Bears. Motta doesn't get the shot to go down. He had a built-in screen from Roland right there, and instead of taking it, he went against it. And he kind of crossed in the back of Millien. When Roland was set in that position, he could have stayed left. He would have had his man and Roland's defender picked off for an easy layup.
Well, the spacing's been awful by the Bears.
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons why you have so many turnovers. Here's Torres, cross-court pass. Shelton thought about the 3 for a second. Shoots, fadeaway jump shot, gets it in. That's tough right there.
Yeah, you can't defend him much better than that. Nick did a great job staying right on the shooting hand. He still made it.
Goff launches a 3. Yes, he needed that one right there.
Well, the Bears could use it too. They were starting to see the game slip away from them here.
66-70, Bears down by 4.
Need some stops.
There's Walker. Walker against Connor. Looking in the inside. Nice Shelton. Shelton in the paint. Can't get it in. Steals it right back and puts it in.
Well, that's one where I'd be wondering where the foul was.
I got to tell you what, you got to love the Dartmouth fans over here, just making more noise than the Bears. Baseball pass, Connor for 3. No. Offensive board by Goss. Puts it up. Can't get in. Millien with the offensive board. Millien puts it up. No, he'll be at the free throw line for 2 shots, though.
He is a lone warrior down there, isn't he? Fighting off 3 Corsairs for the rebound, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Pay, you know what he reminds me of? He
A
reminds me
bull?
of a bull. This guy reminds me of a bull. Just unstoppable. First free throw is good.
Well, he's been a moose. Now he's a bull.
Well, they're both.
Pretty soon you're going to call him Howard Taft.
Well, they're both very large objects that are very hard to move. That's
There
the
you go.
point. That's the underlying point.
We had a little history drop there. I don't know if anybody was going to pick up on that.
Well, I just nodded my head.
You did?
Yeah, I just
You're
nodded
not
my
a big
head.
fan of the Bull Moose Party?
Not necessarily.
1892?
But
No? Presidential history? Come on.
The real question is, do I know what the Bull Moose Party is? That's the real question.
I have a guess.
Here's Satoro. Freeman back in the game. Here's Walker. Walker launches the three. No. Stolen again. Here's Walker. Puts it up. Gets it in.
They're relentless after the basketball. You cannot let up.
Bears down by 6.
Turturro's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of McLaughlin's hands. And now Anthony right here has got a speed advantage against Freeman. He should be able to go by him.
McLaughlin. Here's Motta. Motta to the basket. Can't get it in. Offensive rebound, no. And here come the Coast-Sears. They're not getting second chance opportunities right here for the Bears, which is tough.
Bears are getting stripped a lot, too. They've got to be stronger with the basketball. They're looking for fouls. I'm sure they're getting hit on the wrists, hit on the hands. You know what? You got to be stronger with it. Unless you get hit on the forearm, there's not going to be a foul. So you almost have to force the foul to come.
Shelton, another three. No. Bad shot right there, and over the back foul on Freeman.
Well, that'll put the Bears on the line for a pair. And this foul situation is really helping Bridgewater State. They're already in the double bonus. That was the 10th team foul against the Corsairs.
That was a bad offensive possession right there by Coast-Sears. I mean, with the shot in the over the back, you got to be aware of the foul situation. If you're going to use the fouls, you better use them wisely.
You know what, though? UMass Dartmouth has been the aggressor here in the last 5 minutes or so. You know, Bridgewater came all the way back. They got that advantage. But there are moments, I feel like, with this team, where the Bears, where they get a little milky with their concentration. You know, they get a little careless with the basketball here or there. And, you know, against a team like Dartmouth that puts so much pressure on you all the time on offense, you can't fall asleep.
It's in both free throws, 70-74. Bears down by 2 possessions. An unforced turnover right there, and that's what the Bears need to get back in the game. As I say that, we have flamethrower Brandon Stevens coming back to the game for the Corsairs.
0 for 2 in the second half, though. Like you said, the three-point shooting, you know, you can live and die by that.
Good timeout call by Coach Joe Ferroma right here. And wants to talk over things. I mean, he's sensing his team, you know, should get back into the game. We'll see what's going to happen. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break here in the Adrian Tinsley Center. Bears 70, UMass Dartmouth Coast-Sears 74.
Welcome back to the Cable 8 News. I am John Myers.
And I'm Nick Palmieri.
And Nick, nice to have you here on the set.
It is.
Or is it nice to have me on the set?
He's still got it! Oh, my God! Bridgewater right
Second effort, third effort, and fourth effort. This is a community facility. BTV Cable Access is here to present and to represent all the voices in town.
There have been many members of this corporation who have served voluntarily and spent many hours of their personal time to work toward creating a local network with varied programs to serve the community of Bridgewater.
In 5, 4, 3, 2. It's about community, it's about coming together, it's about helping us out, because at the end of the day, that's what makes all of us strong.
And we're back in the Adrian Tinsley Center. Bears down by 4, 70-74. I'm Newberry at toe, joined Pat Riley. Here's McLaughlin, guarded by Freeman. Top of the key to Millien. Back out to McLaughlin. Isolation. Here's Goss out to the basket, kicks it back outside. Can't get it in. Judah Jackson with the offensive board, throws it up there. Jackson for three now. Can't get in. Offensive rebound, puts it up. Yes.
That's the kind of assault on the offensive boards that the Bears can really use.
These offensive possessions have just been an absolute adventure.
On both ends.
Entertaining nevertheless. Here's Walker. Looking to go inside. Can't get it in. Jackson with the board. Here come the Bears. They have numbers. To Goss. Puts it up and in with the left hand.
That's a heck of a pass from Judah Jackson.
Macchi shoots from the baseline. Tough shot. No. Here's Millien. 3-on-1. Bounce pass to Jackson. Loses the ball. Recovers it. Blocking foul. That was an ugly fast break right there, and they got bailed out.
Yeah, I got real lucky, but you know what? Credit Judah for not going straight in. He knew that Freeman was waiting there to take the charge, so jumped to his left. Reece has been around the block enough to know that if you fall down, you get a 50-50 chance of getting the call anyway. It just didn't go for him this time.
But this is where the point guard needs to get the ball in that fast break. I mean, Roland Millien, he's pretty good at handling the basketball. But you want the point guard in that fast break to call for the basket. You got to clap on him. Give me the ball. Let me run this fast break.
You know what, though? I thought Roland did fairly well. I mean, Judah's got to just give it right back.
Yeah, he did.
There's one guy there just, passed it to Judah with enough space, just hand it right back to him, and you got a layup.
Nevertheless, Bears take the lead 76-74. Just over 5 minutes left in the game. Millien gets an Oscar on that one right there. Divine for three, no. Bears get the defensive board.
Yeah, flop-o-matic there from Roland. They're starting to put the whistles away, too.
Which I like to see. You want to see them play it out the last 5 minutes of the game. They're slowing it down right now. 20 seconds on the shot clock. McLaughlin guarded by Freeman. They're going to run a set play over here to Goss.
Roland's got a mismatch if they can get it to him. But not out there. They need to get it to him a little deeper.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Roland throws it up and gets it in.
And Roland's lucky he didn't pick up an offensive foul, too.
Just as you draw it up right there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Joe was thinking.
Stolen by Anthony Goss. Here's Goss to the basket. Puts it in. The Bears' den has gone absolutely nuts. AKA the Tin House. 80-74, Bears up by 6.
Well, that's the kind of run that can decide a game. There's still plenty of time left here at 4:36. But this full house crowd, they're into it now.
I got to tell you what, it starts on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Bears started getting stops. They started forcing turnovers and getting stops. I think Roland got a little lucky with that leaner. But, the offense will come if you play defense first.
The offense has been an adventure. Even that last offensive possession, with the floater by Roland Millien with the lucky roll. But nevertheless, they're playing good defense to cause those turnovers.
And that's why in a game like this, it's all about taking care of the basketball. If you have more possessions, if everyone's on an adventure, sooner or later you're going to get a couple to go down. So if you have the ball more often than your opponent, you give yourself a much better chance to win the basketball game. We want to take a second and thank the athletic sponsors of Bridgewater State College. It's Pepsi, Nike Team Apparel, Ocean Spray, Gatorade, Papagenos, and of course you're watching this basketball game here on the Bears Sports Network, a joint venture of Bridgewater State College and BTV 9. You'll catch this game a little bit later on this week on Bridgewater Television right here in Bridgewater. Big thanks to Jeff Fowler, executive producer of the Bears Sports Network, and of course our director, Mike Moriello, and producer, my man Jason.
This would be a huge win for the Bridgewater Bears. UMass being a number 20th team in the country. This would be huge just in terms of confidence. There's Macchi. Goes right towards us. Turnover, and it starts on the defensive side of the ball, Pat.
That's another turnover. It's whoever's going to take better care of the basketball, and right now, UMD's not doing it.
Matt Walker just walks by me and gives me that look that Don't say it, newbie. I know what you're thinking. Look.
He didn't like that.
Here's McLaughlin. Here's Goss. Just inside the three-point line. Goes in and out. Offensive rebound by Jackson. No.
You know what, though? The Bears, they've got the effort level way up. They're attacking the rim. That's a great shot by Anthony. Just didn't go down.
Shelton in the inside now to Macchi. Puts it in for two. Good offensive possession. Here comes the trap. And the coach is saying that trap was too easy as they got
Absolutely
it up there
right.
relatively quickly.
Sometimes it's tough. You're used to, as a young player, you know, you make a shot and then you kind of get to thump your chest a little bit and run back on defense. You know, when you're pressing after every made basket, you've got to identify who you're going to defend once the ball goes through the hole.
And now they're saying the ball didn't hit the rim as the shot clock did not reset. Once again, the home court advantage just really pumping here in the Bears' den, and they will adjust that.
Well, now they'll pick how much time is left on the clock. You know, it's a lot of this. I mean, this is Division III. A lot of this is honest mistake, guys. You got a little clicker in front of you, and you click the button whenever you think it hits the rim. And usually, what will happen is the official can ask the clock operator, you know, what was on there when you hit it, and they usually will remember because the clock operator's watching that shot clock all night, so they can say, yo, there was 12, 13 seconds to go, and looks like they're going to put 12 up there right now.
So Bears up by 4 with 3:21 left in the game. It's been an up and down game throughout the first and now second half. There's Millien in the paint. Out to Jackson, straight away three. Can't get it in. And we're going to have a foul on Roland Millien as he's disgusted by that call.
Well, it's only the 15th foul against the Bears. They've got a couple more before they're giving up free throws, and that's a key in this game right now, whereas UMass Dartmouth has been in the double bonus most of the second half.
Here's Freeman, guarded by McLaughlin. Shelton to the basket off the glass. Wow, tough shot.
Yeah, he's a tough offensive player, real with those long arms. He's got good skills.
Corsair's only down by a basket. Here's Millien, top of the key. Calls the timeout.
That's a great timeout. That's an absolutely great timeout by Joe Faroba. Didn't like at all the way that possession was starting, with Roland dribbling a little too much in the backcourt, and it just was not perfect.
And we'll take a quick break as the Bears lead 80-78.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
And we're back in the Bears, and I'm Newbie Ratto, joined with Pat Riley. Bears up by 2, 80-78 against the 20th ranked UMass Dartmouth Coach Sears. Huge game. Bears coming off a loss against Rhode Island College, a number 16 team in Division III basketball, now against number 20. So quite a schedule put together by the Bears, and I think it's a good thing because they're going to be better off for it.
Yeah, and you got to like how the Bears will match up this year against some of the teams in the conference. With this UMass Dartmouth team has already beaten Framingham, and they've beaten Worcester State, two pretty good teams in the conference. Framingham always has a good program. So you got to think the Bears are going to be looking pretty good once conference play comes around the corner.
There's Motta. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Jackson, guarded by Shelton.
Love to have Roland touch it here.
Mill looking for post position, now sets a screen. McLaughlin shoots, gets it in right before the shot clock expires. Here come the Coasties pushing the ball. Macchi slowing things down now. Back out to Freeman. Shelton, leading scorer, puts it off the glass and in.
They're going to just go his way the rest of the night.
It goes out of bounds over here, and they're going to say the Bears have the ball. And all three coaches for the Corsairs not happy with it.
Yeah, Brian Baptiste right there in the center of your screen. He wanted a foul.
And the coaches are saying he was forced out of bounds. Referees see otherwise. Nevertheless, 2:03 left. Bears up by 2.
Someone's got to come to the ball.
Millien gets fouled. And that's tough right there for the Corsairs. That was 2 automatic free throws by good free throw shooter Roland Millien.
Ton of time left, though, in a 2-point game. Brian Baptiste is hot because he knows if he gets that foul, they're in position to start getting some free throws of their own accord. The 5 team fouls for Bridgewater State here. 2 more, and it's a 1-on-1.
First free throw's no good. As the fans chant a milli, a milli, a milli. Second free throw is good. Big miss right there. Roland Millien knows it. Keeps it to a 1-possession game. Corsairs down by 3.
Defense is the key here. They need stops and rebounds.
Macchi looking for Stevens. Now to Devine, top of the key. Back to Stevens for 3. No, he's been called. Offensive board, no. Offensive rebound again by Stevens, yes.
2 good looks, and the Bears almost dodged a bullet.
And a blocking foul as Stevens tried to get the ball back. And we'll make another parade route to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's a good try, but that's a real risky play, I think, by Brandon Stevens. It's a 1-point game, so the worst that's going to happen is they'll be down 3 again. There's still 94 seconds to go. It's plenty of time. I'm surprised they didn't go more for a steal rather than try to shift over and get that charge.
The important thing right now for the Corsairs is still a 1-possession game. If he makes these 2 free throws, makes them the first.
Well, the Bears as a team, very good free throw shooters, 79% as a club. That'll win them a lot of games this year.
UMass going very small. The tallest guy on the court is Roland Millien. And Brandon Stevens.
I like the switch here for the Bears, though. They've got Jackson defending Shelton.
Dangerous cross-court pass. Throws it to the crowd. And another unforced turnover on the Corsairs. That's huge right there, 1:14 left.
Yeah, that's the captain thinking that Shelton was going to be on the wing, but the super sub was about 5 feet behind the line.
Woo! That was dangerous also. I'll tell you, these offensive possessions, and now Goss is called for a traveling violation.
Switched his pivot feed.
It doesn't get easy.
No, this is, but you know, both teams are playing very hard on defense, and that's making it tough for both teams to hold on to the basketball.
1:11 left in the game. Bears up by 3. Here's Freeman. To Shelton. Guarded tightly by Jackson. Launches a 3 for the tie. No. Bears get the board. Motta getting abused. A jump ball is called. Possession now is towards the Bears.
No, it's a foul.
And it's a foul. He got a little hand on that one. These are 2 huge free throws right here that may not clinch the game, but we're pretty darn close to doing so.
Well, 58.5 is a lot of time, but you'd certainly like to be up by 2 possessions.
Huge miss right there.
Now, last 2 times down for UMass Dartmouth, great looks at a shot. Both 3-pointers. They are a good 3-point shooting team, but you mentioned it before. You know, a 3-pointer can betray you, and so far it hasn't come through for the Corsairs.
Matt Walker comes to the game for Devine. Down by 2 possessions, 86-82, just under a minute left. Here's Macchi.
Great
Passes
defense
to
by
Walker.
Motta.
Freeman now with the ball. Looking for Walker. Freeman now top of the key. Freeman to the basket. A whistle. A foul will be on Judah Jackson. Check that foul on McLaughlin. Not a penalty yet. The next foul will be in the penalty.
Well, the Bears have that one to give.
Freeman, top of the key now to Macchi.
Must box out.
Stevens for three. Yes! His first three of the second half. They're now down by one. Here's Millien. Here's McLaughlin now. McLaughlin fighting through the trap. To Goss. Goss gets fouled. Not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, it's Stevens again.
Brandon Stevens makes them when it counts.
And that's 5 on the big-time shooter. He's out of the ballgame.
So that's huge right there, as he brought them to 1 point. But a foul that was necessary to stop the clock. But as a teammate, though, you got to know that and say, you know what, I'll take the foul.
Well, you know what, and you got to wonder if Brandon knew how many fouls he had. You know, as a player, you've got to know. Because that is a big bullet out of the gun of Brian Baptiste and the Corsairs.
We do have Matt Walker. And Goss makes him the first free throw. But if he makes his second one, we got to see it's a timeout right here by UMass as they want to work the ball to Matt Walker for a three-point shot. As he's your lone three-point shooter, makes him the second. They won't take a timeout.
I'd go right to the rim.
And here we go. Let's see what will happen. Here's Freeman. Top of the key. Shelton launches a three. Can't get in. Offensive board. Stolen by the Bears. Here's Millien, and he gets fouled, and that just may be the ball game right there. Wild three by the Corsairs as they have plenty of time left. Bad offensive possession, Pat.
You know what? They got the shot they wanted. They wanted Shelton off the screen. They got what they wanted.
I'm not so sure about that.
I think that's exactly the shot they wanted. I'm not sure if it's the best shot for them. I mean, I'm of the school that you extend the game as long as you can. With 25.7 seconds, you get the ball in, you go to the rim, and you try to get a two and then get the ball back. But Shelton is there at this point now with Stevens out of the ball game. Shelton's their most consistent three-point threat. So to get him off the screen and get a look, it's a good look. They got the offensive rebound, and you know what? Freeman gets that board. Shelton's wide open in the corner if he saw him.
Big miss by Millien right there. This free throw is huge. To stretch it to 2 possessions. Second free throw is good. Here we go again. Down by 2 possessions now, 10 seconds left. Here's Walker.
Just get a shot in the air.
Macchi for 3, no. And that's the ball game, folks. Puts it up for 2. Not so fast. 87-89. Bears up by 2, and they gotta have a foul right when you inbound the ball. I mean, it's going to be close, but you got to foul immediately and hope for a prayer when you get the ball.
Newbie, they're not looking for a foul. They're looking for a steal. They're looking for a turnover right here, and the Corsairs are the best team at it in the region. They've done it again tonight, forcing turnovers throughout most of the game. The Bears have done a nice job here in the second half of having a little more continuity and defending the basketball more. You know, I don't know if we can get a shot at it, but there are a lot of UMass Dartmouth folks leaving the building now. Not so fast. We have seen a lot of risky offensive maneuvering here in this game. I would not be surprised at a steal and a shot. They have enough time at 1.1
that's an eternity.
To steal and get the ball in the air.
That's an eternity right there.
But for Bridgewater, I think the real thing to be careful of, because the temptation, you talked about it earlier, Newbie, really definitely putting your finger right on it. A press wants you to throw deep down the floor. If the Bears have some kind of a play where they're running somebody deep and they throw a baseball pass, they better get a hand on it, because if it goes out of bounds, Dartmouth gets the basketball on this end of the floor, the offensive end of the floor. So the Bears need to get it in, and they need to get it up the floor. Maybe your best case, get it into somebody and then just throw it up in the air.
Riley will be guarding the pass. Surprised about that one. Motta to inbound the ball. Baseball pass to Goss. Catches it. Ball game. Bears 89. Corsairs 87. An epic battle here in the Bears' den.
That's a heck of a home win for Bridgewater State. They take down the number 20 team in the country.
I'll tell you what, Pat, the Bridgewater Bears right now, these are the type of wins that carry your team for the remainder of the season. I know it's early on. We're facing Rhode Island College, facing UMass Dartmouth. These are playoff atmosphere games. These are games that you live for as a player. And when you prove that you can beat these teams, when you face teams, in your conference who are not as good as these teams, you say, that's a piece of cake. I can do that. I'm very confident coming to these games. These are the games right there that makes you a champion. You have to make the decision right here, right now, whether you're a wolf or a sheep. And right now, they're proving that they're wolves.
Yeah, I think you're right. You learn a lot about yourself as a team early in the year when you play tough competition like this team here, this UMass Dartmouth team. Because, as you say, it doesn't get a whole lot easier once you get into conference play. Again, the Bears will go on the road for a pair here. Wheaton College is a good Division III club, and then Eastern Connecticut State's one of the better in the country. And then you go out west, the Cactus Jam out in Phoenix, and it should be another team-building opportunity for the Bears. You get away from home, go out there and stay with just your teammates, no distractions. There's a lot of sand and dust out there. I've got some family in Phoenix. There's not a whole lot going on outside of a cactus here or there. So, some time to focus on basketball and focus on teammates. And, that should give them a real boost heading into the conference season, which starts here on January 10th. And then it's a full court press there for 2 months until you get into conference tournament time. And like you say, a win like this helps the Bears. And don't be surprised if you see Bridgewater State start turning up and getting votes in that D3 Hoops poll for the top 20.
Exactly. It's going to be a tough race in the Mass Cap between, like you said, Framingham State and Bridgewater State. They got a good point guard over there, Darius Surell, and they got a pretty good two-guard, Chad Dixon. So it's going to be tough, but the way the Bears are playing, and they're only going to get better. This is only the first quarter of the season. You got to want to take the season by quarters. This is the first quarter of the season, and I like what I'm seeing. But, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But having a good start doesn't hurt you that bad.
Well, John Luck has gone and got an associate head coach, Mike Donovan. They're getting into position now. The Bears, with that 89-87 win, you see Coach Donovan on crutches. He's had a foot ailment all week this week, and this past week was on the sideline. Let's go down to John Luck and hear from John and the coach. John?
All right, thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Coach Dunny. And Dunny, can you pick out one key moment here that basically turned the game around for you guys?
I don't know what the moment was. I think we kind of put on a little spurt on them probably about 6 minutes in. No, probably about 12 minutes into the half. It was a long time to go, but it kind of set the tone, got the crowd into it. Once the crowd got into it, we weren't playing 5-on-5 anymore,
I talked to Coach Baroba earlier on at the beginning of the second half. He said ball control was a big key here. Did you see more improvements here that helped you guys out in the win? Yeah, we handled the ball and handled their pressure much better in the second half. And that was key. First half we had 16 turnovers. Might have had 7 or 8 in the second half. I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers, but I'll take that. It's an up-tempo game. You're going to have turnovers. You just don't want 30, All right, thank you very much, Coach, and best of luck with the ankle.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
John, thanks very much. The crowd is enjoying it here. An 89-87 win for Bridgewater State. They go back on the road for a pair. We'll have you back here for the men on January 10th when Westfield State College comes to town. The beginning of MassCAC play here at the Adrian Tinsley Center. Again, that game will be on January 10th. We are here on Saturday at 1 o'clock for the women who will play their first game on the Bears Sports Network this season. A 1 o'clock tip will have Bears All Access at 12:40. That's this Saturday here on the Bears Sports Network. Well, lots of people to thank. Thanks to everybody back in the crew making this broadcast go. Chuck Scott and Will Weir and Bears All Access. John Luck on the sideline and my broadcast partner, Nubia Ratto. You've been watching an 89-87 victory for the Bridgewater State Bears over the number 20 team in the country. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon right here on the Bears Sports Network.